What's going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. The Washed Up crew, back in the building again. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of UrbanPitch.com. As always, the director of Vibes right here with me, Julio Monterosa. And today, we got a special guest, very special guest again. You know him, he's an artist, activist. You know, he's in the community, he's outside, he's doing things, he's making an impact. We got our guy Stix in the building again. Stix,
I'm back.
Yeah,
It's been some time.
Yeah, what's going on, man? It's been a minute since we last spoke. You were on the podcast a couple years ago now, before all this pandemic stuff. But what have you been up to? I know you've been a busy guy. I see you all over doing. I mean, just a million different things. What's new with you?
Well, the last time we were on here, it wasn't as hot as it was.
Right, it's hot right now.
It's hot right now.
Yeah,
super hot.
Nah, man, it's been great, man. Especially with the foundation, with the music, with just everything, the company in general. We're doing some amazing things. Consistently doing the food drives. We got a huge entrepreneurship program with MasterCard. Got the financial literacy thing cracking off. You know, got this soccer skills development thing we do every single weekend. It's going down in the hood, free for everybody. I told everybody I told Don Garber from MLS, I was like, I'm going to eliminate the pay-to-play model. I'm going to shake this shit up. And he was like, man, if you could figure that out, you would be the man. And so we're...
You said that to Don Garber's face. You didn't send it. Yeah.
I know, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm talking to Don
That's
Garber.
The commissioner, man. That's the commissioner.
Just dropping names.
He's not used to people pressing him like that. I'm sure.
Who does that? No, Don is an amazing person, man. He really cares. Not to segue off a little bit, but he cares about equity. He cares about diversity. He cares about a lot of these things, and it's very rare that a commissioner even cares about community anything, and he actually does. So that's what allows me to have these conversations. I mean, obviously, thanks to Larry Berg, owner of LAFC, and Allison Berg, who made the connection and was telling Don, you need to talk to Stix. Right. You need to talk to Stix because he knows what he's talking about. And because of that relationship, that's how it happened. But, and we're consistently doing, kicking in with the basketball skills development, climate justice, targeting air and water. I mean, right now we're building a school in Lancaster.
Wow.
Shoot, we finna do a retail and housing development project in Lancaster. Sports facilities. It's nuts right now, dog. It's like, I can't complain.
Right, I mean, shoot, man, that's crazy.
I feel like we gotta start stepping our game.
I know
up.
we gotta step. I gotta step our stuff up, man.
Up,
I thought we were doing okay with the podcast. Getting some new guests on.
This is amazing.
We just got shitted on right now. Hey Ramsey, we gotta talk after the podcast.
All right, yeah, we gotta step our games up because so talk about you mentioned LAFC making the connection with Don Garber. Obviously you've had opportunities to work with the club. I saw you're sitting pitch side at El Tráfico a couple weeks back. Yeah. But you've also had opportunities to work with other LA teams in the area, the Clippers. You're doing the Rams. You're performing at halftime, creating anthems for them. Yep. So just talk about that because I mean I'm sure you're born and raised LA, working with these teams. What's that like as a LA person? Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Our partners at Bet Online continue to be the #1 source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including Major League Baseball, the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. With training camp right around the corner, Bet Online has opened up odds for team wins, division futures, and of course, the Super Bowl. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to get the bonus and get in the action. Bet Online, where the game starts.
Honestly, I don't even look. I'm not gonna say it's not nothing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I do it, and I'll be like, all right, what else can I do? I mean, the goal is always to sew up all of LA. It's like, all right, if I got LAFC, now I need basketball.
Right.
Clippers. Okay, I got soccer and basketball. I need football.
Right.
Rams. You know what I'm saying? All right, I got basketball, soccer, and baseball. I need baseball. Whatever,
right.
Yeah,
I need baseball
Dodgers.
next.
Now I got Dodgers.
Yeah.
You're working with the Dodgers too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I do my food drives, we partner with the Dodgers every single month. So we got all pretty much
the city on lock.
The 4.
Where are the Kings at? The Kings next?
If they want to play ball, they want to get in the hood.
Right.
I might find a few hockey players in the hood for them. You know, but the goal is always just to rep LA, put LA on the map. As if it's not on the map, but just hold it down, man, but create opportunities for people who wouldn't have opportunities in LA, in these low-income communities, people who look like all of us.
Definitely.
Just give them opportunity to try to shine, man, and make it where it don't cost nothing.
Right.
And I hold these teams accountable, like, hey, you care about the hood? Let's create this program. But at the same time, I'll throw you a dope-ass theme song at the end.
Yeah, talk about the theme songs, because, I feel like those are difficult to make something that's, not too, like, rah-rah, like, this is just straight-up Clippers, let's go Clippers, whatever.
It's always been easy for me because I used to do a lot of, like, songs for, like, commercials.
All right.
So it's kind of like a similar concept. You have a subject, and you got to make a song that's cool specifically to this thing, right? But it got to be cool enough, but not cheesy to where it'll turn people off. And when you're dealing with sports, it's all about culture. As long as you add the culture to it, like hip hop culture and like what that embodies and represents, it's hard to miss. So I just so happen to come from both worlds and have a part of, come from the hood, hip hop culture, born and bred in it, from LA. So it's easy to talk about LA shit when I make this song.
Yeah,
definitely.
All I'm doing is adding a team name potentially, if I do that, or some players, or or just talk about what the team represents. And usually they all represent the same thing: diversity, culture, community, and LA. Like, you can't go wrong. That's easy to talk about. So.
Yes, and then, obviously with being in LA, there's multiple teams to work with. Were you reaching out to the Clippers? Well, how did that, were you choosing the Clippers? Like, was that a conscious decision, or was it the opportunity came up?
I chose the Clippers because I think they were a team that was on the verge of rebuilding. This was before Kawhi and Paul George.
Right.
And I was like, I could see that y'all could use some community engagement. They do things in the community. A lot of things, like basketball courts and stuff like that.
All those courts with the Clippers,
you have the Clippers
logo on it, right?
Yeah, but it's like, where's the connection? Like, who are you connected to that's in the streets every day? And is that person representing the team? It's different where you pay somebody who not a fan.
Sure.
Definitely.
It's forced. It's not authentic. It's not organic. So I'm like, look, I actually like the team. It would be advantageous.
Liking the Clippers is pretty hard. I'm a Laker fan myself.
Look, I don't never hate on the Lakers. I'm telling you, 17 championships.
Can't go wrong.
You can't. How you hate on that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would never say nothing bad about the Lakers.
A lot of people find ways to hate on it, but
man, I'm a winner, dog.
Right.
I love winners.
Yeah.
And if you talk, there's only 2 teams really in NBA history that are winners consistently. That's the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yes.
Celtics is blasphemy in LA, but
the Celtics have only won one championship in the last how many years? Since
But that's what I'm
Bro,
saying.
but no, like when it comes to sports, like when it comes to Boston,
I know.
like
Yeah.
the Red
Everything.
Sox, Celtics,
Yeah.
Sure.
And so it's like, how do you? Anybody who hates on a winner, you're just a hater.
Right. That's
I don't give a
not
fuck
even
who you
criticism.
like.
Right.
Like, how you hate on 17?
Nah, you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that's crazy. How you hate on like Magic? How you hate on like Kareem? Like that, Shaq, Kobe? Like Kobe Bryant, like one of the greatest players I ever touched. Rest in peace.
The stuff that you see on social media about Kobe is crazy, man.
He gets so much hate.
Because I blame that a lot on the fans of Kobe, because the Kobe fans, Kobe's my favorite basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, but some of the straight up stands of Kobe will say some just outlandish stuff about him. He's way better than LeBron, way better than Jordan. My sense, he's a great player. He's greatness. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Greatness is greatness, man.
And people try to peg him against other great players, and then that's when it starts to get
Muddy.
just crazy, right? And so, but like you were saying, at the end of the day, you don't have to like it, but you have to respect it, and I think that's
Winning.
a lot what LA culture, sports culture, has to bring.
We got to focus on winning, dog. And nothing else matters. You either winning or you not.
Yep.
In life, man, you either winning or you ain't, and you got to figure out how to win.
Yeah. Speaking of that, LAFC.
Winning.
They're having a good year.
Winning.
They're winning right now, but when
Top of the top.
Yep. They just brought on a couple of
man, come on, man. We ain't got to say the names. We know who they brought on. We know what's going to happen.
So my question to you is it championship or bust this year? Because this is something Julio and I have been talking about.
I'm terrified. I am terrified because it's like resembling of when the Clippers brought Kawhi and Paul George.
Right.
And it's like, damn, we about to win the championship this year. And then we went to the bubble and smoked it, right? I'm like, damn, we got all of this fire. And they was playing good without him.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So to add them right now, while they're on fire, it's like it's a few things. It's like, is it going to be difficult to gel? Or I don't think it becomes difficult because the type of players that they got don't interrupt the flow of the system.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? They just amplify what we're already doing. So, look, man, all I can say is we're in a great position to win number one. And I hope so. Shit.
I hope so as well. First episode on the podcast, I kind of made fun of the Galaxy fans, and they have been on me since.
The Galaxy fans, they have come after Julio. Like it's gone to the point where if we're at like LA Galaxy territory, people will start. They recognize them, and they're like pointing them out, like
Look,
yelling.
Man, here's the thing. I don't like the clown stuff.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It'd be
yeah.
clown stuff that they be doing. Now, out of respect of winning,
They're winners too.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
winners.
They're winners.
So I can't hate on I'll never hate on the organization, but I'll disrespect the clowns. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you're a clown, you're stupid,
Sure.
you suck, do something. Like, you know,
Exactly. I know. Like, if you keep it words, I honestly do not care.
Yeah.
Bro, like, they've done memes of me on Instagram. I repost it. I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. Just when you come up and start talking like you a bitch, like all that.
That's crazy. No, they're wild.
Yeah.
That's what I'll give them, dog. It's like the Raider fans.
Exactly. They win it every year, but they don't win shit.
Like, Raider fans, they will fight you over this shit. Like I'm like
Raider fans are preseason champions every year.
oh my God. You know what I mean? And that's with all respect to the Raiders. Shout outs to the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, this year, I mean, we'll see, man. I ain't go diss nobody. I ain't go hate on no other teams. I'm gonna just say we in a good position. Hopefully we can carry it out throughout the whole season, secure the shield, and then go on and secure the cup, and just see what happens.
Definitely.
I love how we look.
Yeah.
I've been to a few of the matches. I mean, seeing it in person even looks good.
Right.
It's different from all of the other years. It's just different. It's like the energy is different.
No,
just
yeah.
the flow.
I agree.
Just the player, like how they communicate on the pitch, like it's just different, man. It's a different squad. So
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, so yes, I've been going to games since 2018. The last 2 seasons, I think I've probably missed like 3 games for LAFC.
Wow.
But like,
better than me, and I'm like a partner.
yeah,
Well, you got the schools building schools. You know.
yeah, I know somebody that can get me through the back door. Not to the extent you are, but I figured my way in. Shout out to the plug. Haven't paid for a ticket in 2 years. Like compared to other seasons, don't get me wrong. Every time I go to LAFC game, it's a party. But like now, like you can feel the difference this year. Like people are actually wanting to see the games. Not only
serious,
going there
bro.
to party, but like they're invested because they know like this is that year. Like
squad.
Yeah,
this is
man.
that. If we don't win it this year, it's because
mean-
it's nobody to blame but the teams because the
Coaching
roster they
good,
have.
staff good, players good, bench. You know, reserves are good.
Amazing, yeah.
Like we got crazy reserves. Our reserves are like starters on
yeah.
different teams.
Shout out my guy Latif.
Oh,
Latif.
man,
Oh,
come
man,
on.
shout
That's
out.
the best super sub in the league. Every time he
hands
comes
down.
on, it's just
He's
Hands
always with a
down.
smile. He comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
just
humble.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
No,
Everything.
yeah,
makes
Latif.
sense.
I'll give him that. I've seen him at Sunset taking pictures with fans. Like I think only player that has done it. Latif is for the people.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then, 32-52 still going at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Still faithful, strong, one of the strongest forces in LA sports culture. Like you'll never see an experience like it in anything, no matter what sport you're at. I mean, maybe, I don't know, nothing. I can't even think of nothing where you will experience, and it's still strong. No matter what the win-loss column is, 32-52 holds it down. And you ain't going to be able to experience that nowhere else. So
Yeah.
it's just dope. It's a dope year.
And they keep the team accountable. That
Oh,
protest
yeah.
they did after that Galaxy loss,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, we got to step it up. And what has LAFC done since then?
Stepped it up.
Stepped it up. Like they're like, all right, we love you guys. Like I see other fans, their team is losing, they just don't show up to the stadium. Now these guys showed up to the stadium. We're like, you know what?
I remember that match. I forgot what happened where they were quiet, like the first 15.
That's the one. That's
what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that was after the LA Galaxy lost for the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, man, the first 15 minutes of the
something
match.
like that. And
they were just quiet.
Yeah.
Like pin drop, and then they ignited
again.
And I was like, yo, that's fire, bro.
They keep the team accountable about like, we're gonna support you guys, but like
give us your all.
Yeah, love us like we love you.
We give you our all. Now you got to give us your all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, and that, to me, that's the beautiful part of soccer, because that you don't really see that in other sports where you have this kind of organized fan groups that
It's interesting. So there were some conversations in the off season, and I don't think I've ever said this in an interview. So this is like a you here. I'm always exclusive. I be dropping like exclusives when I come here.
yeah. We need the flex bombs, right?
Yeah. So the Clippers, and it's online. They introduced something called the Wall of Sound.
Oh wow!
So with the Wall of Sound, they designed it to go kind of like straight up in the air, like a section of seating.
Right.
But I think there's a portion of it that's standing room.
And so they're gonna put that into the new stadium that they're building in Inglewood.
Inglewood, yeah.
So it came from a conversation that myself and I don't know if the two others want me to disclose them. My guy Matt Pay and somebody else had a discussion. I don't know if he would want me to disclose it, but we had a discussion about this, and now Steve Ballmer implemented it into the new stadium. But it's resemblant of 3252.
Right.
It's resemblant of the supporter section. Creating a section in basketball, almost like the closest thing you can see is like the Cameron Crazies. That do, how they're just going crazy. They paint, yelling, cheering, all
camping out for like weeks before games.
It's bringing that culture to the NBA and having a section put together for that group of individuals. And so it's like right behind the court. So when you're shooting a free throw,
you're going
be nuts. And then how it's built, the sound. The reason why it's called a wall of sound because scientifically it echoes back.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So when somebody's shooting a free throw, you're gonna feel the vibration.
Yeah, they gotta pull up the stats, the road free throw percentage. That'll be interesting to see.
So, but yeah, that came from that's it was birthed from seeing 3252 in the supporter section and figuring out how do we bring that idea to NBA. And Steve Ballmer loved it, and from the discussion I had with the group, and then it went to another group, and then they talked about it, and now it's going to be there.
Influence, man.
Yeah. That's LAFC culture for you.
Yeah,
definitely. They're making a big impact in the city. First of all you will see is Dodger hats, but now you see the LAFC.
You see that LA?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the perfect logo. It got the LA in it with the wing,
and the black and gold. The color,
the black and gold. The color scheme is great.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about gangs and stuff in LA, it kind of it separates itself.
Neutral.
It's like it's neutral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not blue. It's not red. It's not orange. It's not purple. It's not like none of that stuff. Sure. It's like straight black and gold. How can you go wrong with black and gold?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you've been able to work with the team with your foundation, ThinkWatts. And I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but I want to get a little bit more into that because just seeing all the stuff that you've been able to do through ThinkWatts has been, just been fantastic. So what's the mindset that you have? What's your vision for what you've been doing over the last couple of years with the foundation?
We're just going to continue to do. We do food drives, health fairs together, raising a cultural awareness, like really inviting black culture into the sport of soccer, just to enjoy it first. I'm not trying to force anybody to play, but enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then after enjoy it, you play it. And I see that as a way to bring black and brown communities together. That was my whole reason for even joining the club. Is my initial pitch was, I think this is a dope way to bring black and brown people together, especially in LA,
right?
Where it's predominantly black and brown in these communities.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Where the stadium is, the people who come to the stadium are predominantly black and brown, who in the supporter section, that's what you see.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this is a great opportunity to bring cultures together and figure out a way to produce some type of unity. That way we can really produce some economic development on a different scale.
Right.
It's bigger than just sports. This is equality. This is equity. You know what I'm saying? That I look at this. And that's why I did the theme song.
Right.
You know, that was the main reason behind that. So the goal is to continue to produce these type of ideas, produce these type of efforts, invite more people to the sport of soccer.
Right.
And that's any race, any ethnicity, but through the lens of hip hop culture, you know?
Yeah.
Create that bridge. And, you know, moving forward, hopefully I want a piece of the team.
You gotta get that on that ownership board.
I need a piece, man. Naming rights or something. ThinkWatts Stadium or some shit.
He said, "Look, Ramsey like that."
I mean, they got the court. They got the court now, so you got ThinkWatts the junior
man.
court, and then this. Yeah, right.
I'll take
right,
it, man.
Right.
We'll remove Bank of California. So ThinkWatts Stadium. Nuts.
That'd be crazy.
Remember, we said it here first.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So when you see the big tower on the side of the stadium, you seen it on Urban Pitch.
I mean, so you obviously have like big goals and big. So where does that start with ThinkWatts? How did that get all started, and what is it like now, seeing it however many years later, the growth that you've been able to create with the foundation?
Seeing the growth is what people will call a blessing. To be able to achieve what I've achieved and do what I've done, it's like insane. Like it's like 5 years ago, I couldn't have told you that all of that's happening was gonna happen. I just knew I had the courage to go after it. I was crazy enough to think that it could happen, you know. And I think now it's like setting my mind on like bigger goals that truly create universal impact. Schools, developments, you know, housing, $1 billion equity funds to just like invest in communities and products created by community. You know, creating programs where people learn how to code and game and play and all of that, and taking those individuals and helping them produce the stuff that the world uses. There's no reason why a Uber can't come out of Watts.
Definitely.
Right.
There's no reason why we can't go to Bell Gardens and find somebody to create, you know, Postmates or something like that.
Right.
Like, they're there. We just got to give them the opportunity and the resources to develop it, or be around people who can develop it so they can get their ideas off, and we can make it. Like, that's my whole focus, is producing entrepreneurs from right where we come from, you know? Yeah, man. Anybody watch Billions?
I watched Succession. I watched this. My parents watch Billions. They've been telling me to watch Billions for a while.
I've not seen it yet.
You watch Billions? Yo, I'm like Bobby Axelrod.
Is that Paul?
Stix Axelrod. You know what I'm saying? When you watch the show, it's like that's the goal, man. Just to really create equity. I know I said that word a lot.
Right.
But that's what our culture is all: black, brown, even, you know, Asian culture. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different types of Middle Eastern culture, Pacific Islander, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just about equity. If we could create equity, but within unity, we can create products that service everybody efficiently, authentically, you know, organically, and it's not like a force. Like, I'm tired of fragmented products. Like, oh, this is only for you. This is only for you. Only y'all can play this sport. Like, these products aren't racist. Like, they aren't, like, they can't think.
Right.
They're made by people who think that way.
Right.
So my goal is to be like soccer, for example, is not racist. The soccer ball can't decide who it wants to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't control who talks to someone a certain way. It's just a ball. You know what I mean? So it's like, why do we think that only certain groups of people can play soccer? And that's in America more so, more than anything. Because around the world, everyone.
No, definitely, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, in America, it's about changing that narrative and that messaging. And like I said, going back to what I just said, creating ecosystems, creating new messaging in sports, creating products that where all of us created together, we all combine our ideas to where all of us can benefit from it long term. And shoot, that's my goal moving forward with working with all of these teams, doing what I do, working with all of these partnerships. It's always focused on that greater good. It's never just, oh, I'm doing it and that's it. Like, we're just gonna keep the main goal is to produce, like economic success for all people who look like us and come from places like where we come from.
No, definitely. I grew up in 48th and Crenshaw. But like we talked with FIFA last episode, there's usually like basketball courts are open, but when you comes to the soccer field, it's always closed. Oh no, you can't play here unless you rent it out. Like for us to be like more diverse in that sport, we have to open these soccer fields up for the kids. Growing up, it was always hard finding a soccer field to play. We used to go to USC, and they'll let us play to 9 p.m. They're like, you guys got to go. But it was the only field that was really open for us to just go play pickup with our friends, whatever it be. Like for us to make this sport bigger than what it is, we have to open this fields up for the kids.
Absolutely, man.
In these parks, most of these parks, we talked about it. They have that no soccer sign. Like every
That's
park.
crazy. I didn't know that.
They said if you go whatever, pick any park.
You go to Jesse Owens down the corner. Yeah, you'll see that.
You'll see no soccer. That's insane. Think about
insane.
that. Like,
so we got to open these fields up. Have some fields.
Crazy. And that's what I'm saying. That's part of some system that's culturally biased towards either a group of people, because it ain't about soccer.
No,
it's about them limiting the people from doing that thing. Soccer, like I said, soccer isn't racist.
Right.
There's a system that these racist people, no matter what culture or background you are, there's no point, especially when it creates access that keeps kids out of trouble, keep them occupied, keep them happy. Like, why would we take that away? Even adults. Like, I live across the street from a school. Literally, I walk out my front door and the school field is right there. And every Sunday morning is a soccer game. Like, it's like, a bunch of dudes get together. They got the jerseys. And it's like a league, whole, like an adult league. And I go out there and sometimes I just sit there and I just watch. And I look at it like, this is dope, man. Like, I don't know. And I always be like, what do they go through during their week? Like, what goes on in their life? This is their release. This is their traumatic stress reliever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, somebody probably couldn't pay their bill or got in a car accident or family member passed away, but they there on Sunday. So when we take that away, what release do they have?
Exactly.
And then they turn that into some other negative.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, that's why I'm like, it's all about the messaging, man, and just create aligning voices that produce equality and equity, man, and accessibility for all of us.
Yeah. Do you got any aspirations to get into politics? Because you sound like
a politician.
Yeah, right. Because it sounds.
If I can't be governor, I don't want to be nothing. Governor got power, man. He got action.
So you want to go straight to the governor's office?
Yeah, dog. Man, a lot of people ask me all the time, man, you gonna be in politics, man? I want you to. I'll be like, nope. I'm like, why, man? What about the mayor? What about the senator? I'm like, nope. I don't want none of it. They ain't got no power. Governor though, I can be up there and be like, $100 billion is going over here.
Hey,
now.
Man, if Arnold can do it,
you can do it, bro.
Oh, I know I can do it, but that's mayor. But the governor, he was the governor.
Yeah, he was the governor. He was the governor. He had no prior politics.
That was terrible. The governor.
And his speeches were like crazy though, because his English was.
He didn't get off though. He didn't like really flex when he was guy. Gavin Newsom is flexing. He's like, 100 million over here, 60 million over here, $1 billion over here. Man, I would do some wild. First day in office, reparations. I'm like, hey.
What did Kanye say? We trying to get our acres back?
Yeah, right. 40 acres.
40 acres in the man. I would light the state up, man. They would kick me out first day in office, man. I'd be giving out money like it's like they want it. Like every culture we could think of. I'm like, yo, come to Crenshaw on the corner of. And we're going to have somebody sit out there at a table, come pick up $1 million. Right. Like, it would be some wild ghetto stuff. Like, no.
Yeah. The Honda Accord got rims?
That's like that Dave Chappelle skit.
They should have never gave me money.
You never seen so many Honda Accords with some bad rims.
Right.
$2,000 car with like 10,000 of just rims.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
That'd be sick though. I'm voting for you. Yeah.
I'm telling you, y'all want money? Vote for me.
That's the tagline, right?
That's the tag. You want money? Vote for me.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
We're bringing the Crenshaw Sundays back. Everybody can have a cool
I will bankrupt California, dog. I'm like, long as all of us rich, oh well, we'll figure it out. Everybody pay taxes.
Yeah.
Dog, all the homies will be paid.
That's a good platform to run on. It's a good platform.
Watts, he for the homies.
Yeah. For the homies.
For the homies.
Ooh, the campaigns will be cracking. For the homies.
The Watts party.
The Watts party.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started.
It'll be Supreme shirts.
Oh man. All right. So let's transition a little bit. Recently, I seen you had a collab with Nike. You got your own Air Force One. Not a lot of people can say that. What was that whole process like?
It's kind of tough.
Because I mean, you got your own shoe, man. Like you're up there with LeBron. You're up there with Kobe. Like, how many other rappers or artists and community like activists have their own shoe?
I mean, there's like Drake and Travis Scott.
Right.
That's really. I don't really know anybody.
Master P had his own shoe, the G Unit sneaker.
The G, 50 and
Jay-Z.
Yeah. I mean, that they had it, but they don't have it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's a short list, man. That's kind of crazy. I never even thought of it like that. Thank you, Ram.
Yeah, I mean,
I might tweet that.
No, but the real question is, like, do you have some like a pair just laying around that you can get?
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. So they are discontinued.
All right.
I think intentionally Nike did it
to
make it a limited run. We have plans to do another drop.
All right.
Hopefully, it'll probably be next year though, like Juneteenth again.
Okay.
Our Valentine, like we dropped this one on Valentine's, which is it was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Black History Month. That's why I'm
Sure.
like, wait a minute, why would we do that?
He a lover boy.
Right. So it sold out like 2 or 3 times online. And it was historical shit. I don't even know what to say about it, man. I got a phone call out of nowhere, like, hey, we want to design a shoe. And
That's from Nike?
from Nike.
All right.
And it was like, are you down? I was like, what? Like, no.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna explore some other options.
Right. Nah, we did it, and I designed it. Like, it took like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Design a shoe, and it was behind a whole campaign, Future Movement, like Future Movement campaign, and they highlighted like 4 community. They were like athletes, and just I was the only like non-athlete, and they highlighted 4 individuals in LA, and then they highlighted people in New York and different things like that. And mine just kind of took off, and they did the billboards.
Yeah.
And it was one at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one billboard here, Crypto.com Arena.
Staples Center.
Staples Center, right.
Yeah.
I mean, politically correct. Just in case they want to give me some Bitcoin.
Right.
The shoe came out online. They did a whole piece on it. That joint sold out in like 15 minutes, bro. Then they had to refund people. Then we sold out again.
Oh, wow.
And they had to refund people again because they sold out of all of the, there were supply chain issues.
Sure, of course.
With materials.
Yeah.
So they didn't have no more materials to make the shoe. Yeah. So they had to refund a bunch of people again.
If you're not giving out refunds, it's not a successful shoe drop.
Man. And the third time, people finally got through. And then if you go online right now, it says this shoe is no longer available. It's crazy, man. And so it's just an amazing moment. Like, I got an Air Force One, I don't know what else. Like, shit. It's amazing, dog. Yeah. And Nike was dope to work with. Like, really dope team. The LA side. I mean, it was surprising for all of us, right? Nobody knew it was going to turn out like that. Everybody knew there's Impact and ThinkWatts and Stix, knows a bunch of people.
Yeah.
He does his thing, but I was surprised. Like, everybody was trying to buy those shoes. Like, it's people who I don't even know. Like, hey, man, I bought your shoe.
Right.
I was like, damn, all right, good looking.
Yeah.
So thankful, man. Great moment.
And so like, normally when you think of like people who get their own shoe, it's like, the top of the charts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man.
So
it's history.
Like, how does it feel to be like in that same echelon?
It's like no words you pick to describe it. It's good to be on the winning side because the success of how many was sold makes me feel better about it. Because it's like I could have put out a shoe nobody knew
flopped.
and nobody bought it,
Right.
and then it was like, yeah, you put out a shoe, but no one cares.
Yeah.
But because it was so, I mean, the reason why we talking about it because everyone knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people tried to buy it. And in our social media algorithms, that shit's spent.
Pumping.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, a lot of people was fucking supporting this shit. And Nike was Nike was sending me emails like, yo, this is going really well. Like, we just want you to know this is like amazing. This is like a real amazing moment. And it was dope, man. So yeah, man, shoot. When the second drop come, hopefully we do some in stores and make it an event
for sure.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So where you at with your music right now? Because I know obviously you have a bunch of stuff going on elsewhere. Like where are you focused at music wise? How do you balance it with everything else you got going on?
Yeah, man. So right now I just drop music when I want to. Like when I feel like, oh, the time is right now. Let's just drop some dope stuff. I just put it out. I got my own label anyway, and then I got some other artists that I've been grooming. I started a side label called TWG, which is ThinkWatts Global. And there's like a couple artists I've been looking at and working with that's doing their thing that'll come under the umbrella. But like right now, man, I do a bunch of music on TV and film. It's a bunch of stuff on like Power and The Shy and what else? Force and BMF. Like all of those shows, I got a bunch of music on all of those. I'm in the process of developing my own show, so I'll do the music for that too. I got 2 shows actually in like.
That somehow doesn't surprise. That's not
this guy. So do you sleep?
Yeah. Actually, I do. That's the best part of my day. Is sleeping.
Got like 40 jobs.
Right. So, I do music because I love it and I can earn a living off of it. I don't look at music for fame. So usually you got artists who do music and be like, man, I need it to go this way and that way, and I do it because of this, and I want this to happen with my music and be the greatest. I'm like, dude, I just want to pay my bills.
Right. Exactly.
And if anything else that comes from that is a bonus. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm cool with doing music on TV and film, and really it ain't a big deal about it. I'm cool with putting a song out and it maybe got a couple thousand streams. Those couple thousand people like, yo, this is the greatest shit that came out all year. You know what I'm saying? Then obviously towards the fall, we get a little closer to the fall, I'll probably drop another LAFC album. Like every year I try to drop something that's related to the team. So, and those are fun, man. And so yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's coming.
Yeah. So who's on your West Coast rap Mount Rushmore?
Wow. What kind of question is that, Ramsey?
It's a great question. I'm trying to hear this. We're big music buffs, so.
Snoop, number 1, first face. I don't care in that order. Snoop is the biggest artist that ever touched the West, like biggest.
Right.
Like I'm not saying he's the best at lyrics or the best at he's the biggest.
No one else is on TV with Martha Stewart cooking.
Yeah, I had a debate with the homies talking about Snoop is the biggest rap artist ever. Like from New York down,
ever.
White
you
ladies
can be
know.
Anywhere in the world.
Right.
Snoop Dogg.
That's true. That's true. No, that is true.
Snoop Dogg.
They
My
all
mom,
know
she
who
doesn't
Snoop
even
Dogg
like
is.
really speak English. She's like Snoop.
She
knows it. And it's Snoop.
Man, Snoop will mess around and give you a corrido song.
Yeah.
You know?
He
For
did,
real?
yeah,
No,
that's
for
what I'm
real.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who does that? Like, no, Snoop does it.
Snoop.
You know, so Snoop, I mean, it's tough. How many people is on Rushmore? Four. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Snoop. I'm going to add Kendrick. Pac. Cube.
Cube.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Cube, man.
He had some. I mean, he had an unreal run. Like after like his solo run after NWA. I mean, he's like just front to back, just one after another, just straight up. Like
Him and DJ Pooh making all them movies.
Man, DJ, and that's the homie too. Yeah. Pooh is dope dude, man.
He got his chain snatched, but it was by Depot.
Yeah, that four. I had to, because I got to touch the older generation, more closer to the newer generation, or at least my generation. Yeah, that's why I added Kendrick, because Kendrick is like unbelievably talented. But yeah, Snoop, Cube, Pop, Kendrick.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Solid. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think like there's a lot of ways you can go on. I think that's pretty much.
Who I miss?
Dre.
No, but Dre.
As like an artist overall.
I mean, Dre don't count. I mean, he counts, but
But the game, we were cold for a minute. The game brought us back. Like the early 2000s, we had nobody, and then this is how.
Right. No, Dre out of definitely top 10, top 5, West Coast for sure. Right. I don't put Dre in. Dre is like Quincy Jones.
He definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
the architect.
Yeah, man, like Michael Jackson and Quincy.
Yeah,
it's like Dre, Snoop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dre is above everything and all things.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? So, like, with respect, shout outs to the homie Dre. Like, a list can't even define Dr. Dre. He's like the greatest thing that happened to West Coast music.
No, yeah, definitely. Without Dre.
First of all, the production from starting World Class Wrecking Crew to NWA, he gave us the gangster rap.
Yeah.
The music behind gangster rap. NWA. There's no gangster rap music without Dr. Dre, right?
Right.
Then transition, Snoop,
Death Row.
Then transition, Eminem.
So like,
then 50 Cent. Then Kendrick.
Yeah.
Then Lightweight, Anderson .Paak.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
You know, it's you can't count. That's like when you're looking at religion. And
God.
It's like God. And then it's Jesus and Muhammad and like everybody else, Abraham and Moses and everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, Dre is like God.
Yeah, man. So look, I know, you know, we could be here for another hour 45, but you know, we
this
got
is always fun.
Yeah. So we got to wrap things up. But before we go, Julio, to wrap things up, we always put the guest on the hot seat. So he's got some questions
hot in
to throw
here,
away.
so
It's already hot. We're sweating.
Man,
we're sweating up here, but you know we got to make it work. So we're gonna put you on the hot seat for a second, and then we'll wrap things up.
Sweating a gallon of water right now. God. All right. So this quick question. What album would you keep, throw away, and just keep in the car? Dre, Cube, Eazy.
But what you got to pick the albums.
Right. You said album keep, throw away.
So listen to right now.
Listen to right now.
Stash in the car or throw away.
What albums though?
Yeah.
Ooh. Eternal E.
Okay, Eternal E from Eazy.
The Chronic. And what was Cube's first album, the one he did in New York?
Either way, The Chronic, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Cube, I'm keeping in the car. Internally, I'm sorry, E. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Ramona's or Louisiana Chicken?
I'm vegan, so.
Oh.
But before I was vegan, Ramona's.
Ramona's.
Classic.
Two burritos for like $3. Can't go wrong with that.
I mean, I'm on the toilet, but but that's Ramona's for you. Right there in Gardena.
Clippers or LAFC?
You cold. Like what exactly?
Steve Ballmer just leaned in a little bit.
It's on you. Clippers or LAFC?
LAFC. That's where
there
it
you
started.
go. All right, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Oh, I was like, let's keep going.
That was easy.
That was easy. I don't want to like mess up partnerships.
Nah, man. Hey, you go with this loyalty, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah, LAFC for sure.
Yeah.
And LAFC is how I came up with the idea to branch off into other sports.
Definitely.
Right.
Shout out to Rich Orozco.
Shout out to Rich.
You know what I'm saying? He's the architect of that whole concept.
Man, yeah, we saw him at the, I still talk about it. We saw him at the Soho House. He had the little football moving culture forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the way he explained about the sport, about the hat, everything about LAFC is just, that guy knows what he's doing.
Hey, man, it's a couple people who helped me navigate this whole, like, first and foremost, Timothy Nickloff. I think I said him in the last episode. Mm. He is the architect of how Stix maneuvers with sports brands and sports teams first before anybody. Timothy Nickloff is one of the most brilliant geniuses when it comes, and I hope we show this because I want him to see this.
Yeah.
He is one of the most brilliant geniuses when it comes to sports branding, sports marketing, sports partnerships, and just urban culture, period. He come from the skate world. Like, when you come from skating, like skating and soccer is like the epitome of urban culture.
Sure.
Right? And then everything else kind of falls in play. But Timothy Nickloff is like the art, like what you see, how you see Stix maneuver when you see team to team and this project, and Stix is doing this, but ThinkWatts Foundation is doing this. Like, how is Stix with Adidas and Nike? Like, how does that work? Like, how does, like, it's all conversations, consultation, and mentorship from my guy Timothy Nickloff. And then the type of things we do, content-wise, you know, like culture-wise with team, that's like Rich. Like, he understands how to build culture within a corporate organization. And, you know, those two individuals are very instrumental. Shout outs Tony Toledo, who actually is another smart individual. These are people who people may not know, we don't get to talk about, or who don't get the shouts. You know what I'm saying? Because they behind the scenes. Tony Toledo works at WSS, but we call each other Gonzalez Jones. It's like understand black and brown culture and how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? How to do programs, how to do different activations that are engaging and impactful for these communities, right? That's Tony Toledo, and he's like very instrumental and stuff like that too. And then the whole like top board at LAFC, like Larry Berg, shout outs Allison Berg, his wife, Larry Friedman, the president, and John Thornton, and all those guys over there. Chris Reed, who's on the foundation side, dope. Benny Tran, like those guys, they all like understand culture and just kind of how to move, and they're a little bit less strict in regards to relationships and giving access to relationships at a high level. You know, these are a lot of people normally don't talk about. And then there's a ton of other people I can name. But in regards to soccer in general, those individuals were very, very, very key in helping like navigating the soccer culture, and how Stix has been able to navigate from there and then branch to the next thing. And then, yeah, man, I just wanted to just shout those people out real fast, because I want the people to know who they are. And whether they see it or people see it or they don't, if you run into them at a Galaxy match or a LAFC match, stop them like, hey, I was on listening to Urban Pitch, and Stix shouted you out, man. Shouts to you. Like, give them a hug, a dap. They neutral. They all, except for Rich, they're all neutral.
Oh no, Rich don't play. Rich knows.
They're all Tim, Nickloff, and Tom. They're all neutral because they gotta be. So you could say what's up, but you know,
Rich is for the drama.
and shouts to Urban Pitch, man. Y'all still here, man.
Yeah,
you know how hard it is to still be here and thriving and kicking and popping, and how y'all combine music and soccer and just all of the things that y'all still continuously do. Shouts to
appreciate
y'all, man.
you, man.
I'm shouts that I still could come on and
definitely, man.
Be a part of the.
We're glad to be able to have
success,
you on.
Man.
Yeah.
So I have one last question though. So for let's say this kid wants to be more of the community, help the community. How would you recommend a kid that wants to help his community? How can he start that off?
Man, just do it. Shout out to Nike. I wanted Air Force One coming next year.
Just start
the second Air Force One. No, just do it, man. That's what I did. Everything in life, man, you just got to do it. And then you figure out the rest.
Yeah.
A lot of people get in their own way. A lot of people don't achieve goals, don't really accomplish goals because they're afraid to just start. Oh, I don't have the information. I don't know how to. We don't know how to do none of this shit. Just do it, and then you figure it out. You learn through experience, right? I mean, before the first episode of Urban Pitch, did we really know how to do a podcast? Like, did y'all really know?
No, they forgot to press record.
Like, we just got some cameras and some microphones and just fucking start talking. Like, I remember years ago when we did the fucking episode, it's like, this wasn't, and you had like just came around, like you had just started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, nobody knew what we were doing, but you did it. And now look, 4 years later, we're here. And you can go a lot of places and people like, oh, Urban Pitch. Y'all are a staple now.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Did y'all know how to be fucking host?
No, hell no.
Not at all.
Just do it. I didn't know how to do none of this shit.
Right.
None of it. Community, all of that. Like, man, I just did it, man. So if you want to get started, just do it, and everything will come to you. And it'll last as long as you want it to last. But be passionate about it. Be sure about it. Because the things we're passionate about, we'll go through the bumps and bruises, the obstacles, and overcome them.
Definitely.
If we're not passionate about it, then it'll just end, and it'll just be another thing we didn't, that we feel like we failed at.
Yeah.
So.
Knowledge bombs.
There we go.
End it with some knowledge bombs. But
Yeah, that's it.
Stix, again, thank you very much.
Of course.
For Julio Matarosa, Stix, I'm Ramsey Abushali. You've been listening to the Urban Pitch Podcast. Shout out to everybody listening. Leave us like, comment, subscribe, or whatever. We'll see you next week. We got some more guests. But until then, we're out.
Out.